Point. I mean, I was having to think about this last night, especially with myself running a business and all the things that come with it. I have nights as well where I pretty much spend the whole evening just reflecting, like literally just reflecting. Like I don't talk to anyone, I don't go on social media. I literally spend the evening reflecting. I think a lot of my sort of realization as I run a business, as I push things forward, as I take everything to another level, is that what you have to become comfortable with in business, or what you have to become comfortable with when you're running any form of a company, is working in the dark. Like, I don't care what business plan you have, I don't care what morale you have, what support system you have. If you are not willing to make a decision in the dark, then you might as well go into a light room, because that's what business is about. Half of the people tend to sort of sit around telling themselves that this is this beautiful dream of being able to understand each step as it happens and setting goals and targets and achieving them and then raising capital. You're wrong. Business is like working in a dark room. You put your suit on, you have your best hat, you have your best plan, but the reality of it is, the second you step into the room, you can't see any of it. Now, yes, these things can act as guidelines and tools, but what you have to understand in any form of business is that if you want to step into it, you have to decide. Because it's that decision that's going to stand by you in the dark moments in that room, when no one's around you, when no one's there to support you, when no one's there to give you that like on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook. That is what business is. That is what being somebody that is innovative and willing to stand behind their idea must decide. Now, for me personally, I think when it comes to these moments, a lot of the time we try to steer our energy into finding or looking into external things. I do feel that there's a very, very strong spiritual impact to business, and I wouldn't even say to business, but to creativity, to inventing, to building. But a lot of people tend to sit behind the theory, and more importantly, they tend to follow just example. I can't sit around here and tell you guys anything more than you got to get out there and do it. Like today, I'm out here, I'm going marketing. I mean, at the end of the day, marketing is a very different element to developing and to building, and more importantly to business, but it's a compulsory factor. But it's about being able to hustle in the dark. I mean, no one knows what the results are going to be, but at the end of the day, as long as you can be accountable for the actions you're making and accountable for the steps that you're doing, then in reality, you can have a little bit more hope and clarity to thinking that the outcome's going to come to fruition. But at the same time, you have to decide. This isn't a day decision. This isn't a week decision. This isn't a decision where you turn around and speak to two friends who say it's a great idea and you've decided you've started a business. Get over it. This isn't registering a business on Twitter, on Instagram, and now I have a business and everyone can talk about it. Get over it. This is committing to the idea, even when you can't see the result, even when people don't believe the result, and secondly, even when the outcome that you're hoping or thought was going to happen doesn't happen. That is what being a visionary is. That is what taking whatever idea you have to another level will require. Because at the end of the day, we can all sit around here and we can all hope and we can all believe and we can all kumbaya about entrepreneurship and getting together and networking, but at the end of the day, it's a lonely dream. And if you're not willing to decide by yourself, sit down, go into a light room and read some books and follow some people that are doing some cool stuff, because that's all you're gonna get. And at the end of the day, when it comes to me, I'm here to give you the truth. I'm here to show you, like, listen, I am not the typical entrepreneur. I am not the typical blueprint for starting a business. Have no technology experience, have no real educational background, but at the end of the day, I hustle hard and I'm comfortable in the dark. And if you ain't comfortable in the dark, do you know what? It's not for you. And what you should do is turn around and go to a company where they can give you some light. But at the end of the day, if you really want the reality of business, if you really want to take what you're doing to another level, take your situation and become comfortable with the uncertainty of it and keep pushing, because that's what's ultimately going to get you the result. So anyway, today I'm going to bring you guys with me for the day. We're going to hit the radio station. We're going to hit a few radio stations, in fact. We're going to tour around. I'm going to show you some of the promo stuff that I'm doing here in London, and more importantly, just kind of, bring you with the hustle. But ultimately, I'm not here to turn around and tell you that your idea is right or wrong. I'm not here to tell you that you can or you can't do something. I'm here to just be honest. This is a lonely, brutal industry, business. There are no games in it. And if you want to really take whatever you're doing to the other level, you need to commit to it. And you need to understand that it's not a business which is going to give you the gratification that it instantly gives you when you turn around and say to your friends, hey, I'm starting a business. And they go, well done. That's not business. Business is after that point. Business is when you put money on and you've got money on the line. Business is when you've now committed to that website. Business is now when you've now invested in those business cards. Business is now when you've now put it all over your social media, and more importantly, you're putting yourself in a position to have to prove that it's going to succeed. That is business. And as far as I'm concerned, all that I constantly do, as much as I'd love to sit here and gloat around business and what's happening around it, I too constantly find myself in the dark. So I too constantly just focus on the outcome. Many people email me, many people ask me, hey, can you video blog? Hey, can you send us some messages? And I'd love to do it. But at the same time, this isn't a joke, you know? And if you want to succeed, and if you want to take anything that you're doing to another level, whether you're in the tech industry, whether you're in the dance industry, whether you're in the blogging industry, whether you're in the music industry, understand that it's a decision. And do understand that what you need to do in that decision is find ways to nurture it. Because when you make this decision, you need to be able to feed yourself, whether that be with self-help books, whether that be with using mycomeup.com, whether that be with turning around and joining small little focus groups. It's about making sure that you're eliminating the distractions, because ultimately, once you make these decisions, you have to understand making a decision to going into business, it's like making a decision to become a vegan. That's right, it's like making a decision to stop eating meat, because you have now stepped into a realm which is foreign to many others. And what that basically means is that if you're going to be sitting into this world of being a vegan, you can no longer have meat eaters around you. One, because of the temptation. Two, because they smell like meat. And three, because they don't understand why you don't like it. And that's very, very, very important with anybody starting a business. If you are not selective of the people that are around you, once you've made this decision, understand it will have a knock-on effect, and you'll probably find yourself in McDonald's. All right, guys. Anyway, not gonna ramble. Come with me for the day. Let's do this. mycomeup.com, mycomeup world, Leonard Sekionda. Let's go.